Welcome to the Utah Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Utah Street Banter Podcast. I'm Cody. Like always with me is Elijah. What's up, man?
Not much. No, just getting through college 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, so everything's going well in college up there?
Yeah.
You probably wish you were home, with us.
I mean, the food's definitely, it was day one. I know I didn't talk about it last week, but it was because I moved in Sunday and then we recorded the next day. So I've had a little bit more time to settle in and just remembered how bad dining hall food is again. It's not enjoyable, but I make do. I'll find a way to eat. Everyone in my family knows that. I'll find a way to eat.
I believe it. It's one of those things where if you complain too much, they'll be like, well, you can just go, cook yourself,
Yeah.
But I guess you can't. You don't have a stove or anything, do you?
No, I mean, there's I think there might be a stove and a sink for my whole building to share.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of people. And then I have to go get pots and stuff, and I wouldn't have anywhere to keep them. It'd be a whole thing.
Did you do anything? It was a Labor Day weekend, so did you do anything good for Labor Day?
No. My school, since we're a private university, we don't stop for Labor Day. So I had classes yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't worry. We don't stop for these fake holidays made up by the government.
Yeah. I hear you.
No, don't worry. It's actually funny. Every single professor that I had complains about it. They complain more than the students.
I bet. I bet because they're working on Labor Day.
Yeah. So am I.
Yeah.
Schoolwork still works.
No.
I'm paying to work.
Not the same thing.
Okay. You say so.
Yeah. So I mean, we went to there's a place in Southern Maryland called Deal Island, and me and my wife's family's from there. So as you know, but we went there and watched some boat docking, watched some skipjack races. But what's crazy about the skipjack races is they got delayed because it was too windy for the sailboats. If you don't know, well, Elijah, but if our listeners don't know, a skipjack is a sailboat. It's a big sailboat. It was too windy, so they actually had to postpone it for an hour or so. I actually thought the wind would be a good thing, but
yeah, that's true. I
knew nothing about it, so I'm not going to complain.
No.
I don't know.
Every time I think about Deal Island and Labor Day, I always remember a few. What was it? It was probably 6-7 years ago or something like that, and I went with you guys, and we were out on my aunt's dad, his boat, and we started taking on water, and I was on the raft that we were pulling. So they cut us loose, and we're just floating out through the water with the skipjacks, and they're trying not to drown.
Speaking of trying not to drown, the Orioles are playing the White Sox this week.
No, that's not trying not to drown. They're well submerged. They are under the water. They are in the Mariana Trench.
Poor White Sox. They're 31 and 108.
And it's about to be 109 because they are losing 9-0 still.
Yeah, we're recording
on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night. It's about 9:15. The game's almost over. I'm trying not to look to my right because I have it on right now. Oh gosh, everybody, please listen up. It's the bottom of the 8th, right? Is that what I just said? Craig Kimbrell just came in.
Oh God!
All right, so hopefully we don't. Hopefully you're not listening to this podcast and talking about how the White Sox came back
from the 9-run guy. That's it. Just remember, one of the White Sox.
God.
Hey, how about this? Let me put it in perspective. The White Sox have won 4 games since the All-Star break.
One
of which was a 12-run win against the Yankees. So we could be there. We could be there.
We could be.
Luckily, though, we don't have 109 losses. We're far too familiar with 100-loss seasons. Those are days of the past, though, and thank God, because that was miserable. I feel terrible for White Sox fans. But I have a little bit of a funnier thing that I wrote down just because I saw it today, and I thought it's hilarious. Have you seen what's happening out in Globe Life?
It's the 9th. I'm sorry. Yes, I have seen it, but I'll let you talk about it because you know a lot more about it.
Basically, what was it? 2022, Judge hit his 60-second home run to take, 60-second home run to take the lead, the American League home run record, and he did that in Texas. Well, the place, kind of the area of where he hit it at, they had put a plaque in the stadium. I guess at some point that plaque got stolen. They replaced it. The replacement has been stolen, and they've come out and said they're not putting a third one in there. Yeah. Guess who's in town against the Rangers right now?
The Yankees.
Yankees fans suck, basically, is what we're saying, because I guarantee you they're Yankees fans who stole it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the Rangers fans waited until the Yankees were in town to steal it. Yeah. But Also, it would be pretty cool to go out back in your patio or something like that and have the official plaque that says
Right.
Judge hit his 60-second home run. That would be pretty cool.
That's
But,
pretty legit. Yeah.
now I do have an Orioles fact for you that revolves around our current team and a little bit of history.
Okay.
So I'll ask the question here. What current Oriole played with both Jackson Holiday and Matt Holiday?
A current Oriole?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this really quick. Can I go to the
No.
stats? I just want to look at the team that we have.
Nope, you can't.
No,
You
you
should
look at
know.
nothing?
You should know. You're an Orioles podcaster. You should know who's on our team.
Okay. All right. So, a current. It has to be a pitcher.
Yes.
It has to be a pitcher. Oh, and of course, that's who I don't have up. A pitcher.
10, 9, 8, 4, 1.
Well, you went
You're
from 8 to 4. All right.
Yeah.
Who?
Matt Bowman.
Oh, I would have never
Matt
got that.
Bowman played on the 2016 Cardinals with Matt Holiday.
Yeah.
He also, this is another interesting fact I saw, and he also faced against Matt Holiday when Matt Holiday went to the Yankees in 16 or 17. I forget which year it was. And then earlier this season with, I don't remember what team it was, he faced against Jackson Holiday in Holiday's first stint, I'm pretty sure, in the league.
Really?
And then now he's on the same team with him. So he's played against both Holidays and with them.
That's crazy. That's a good stat there. Man, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
I just
normally
normally
you're full of crap, but you know what I mean? This time, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry you didn't want to know Matt Wieder's career earnings.
Yeah, right. God, I felt so stupid. I was listening back to that podcast, when I have to go in and edit it. And I was like, why did I say, you said what career earnings? I was like, you mean how much he makes? And you're like, yeah. Like, what a dumb thing to say. Anyway, all right. So let's jump into some box scores. We're just going to go back to the past weekend. We went against the Colorado Rockies, and we took 2 out of 3. So we'll take that all day. I was hoping to sweep, but we'll take 2 out of 3. The first game, though, was Friday night. The Orioles, we sent out Albert Suarez, who is actually probably one of our best pitchers we have currently in our pitching staff. And they went against Gomber. Austin Gomber?
Austin Gomber, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And so we came out with a win there. Albert Suarez went 7 innings, gave up 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, did very well. Emmanuel Rivera hit a home run in the 4th inning, a 2-run home run off of him. But anyway, no, it's a 3-run home run. Anyway. But Emmanuel Rivera been killing it. Very happy with him. We got the win. Very happy. Dominguez comes in, gets the save. So all in all, we'll take it. We got a 5-3 win there. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much more to it. This week is a lot of. It's kind of just you did your job. I think if we're looking back at it, and if you lose more than one game in the series to the Rockies.
Yeah.
If you lose a series to the Rockies, that's bad. And just like if you lose a series to the White Sox, that's bad.
Right.
I'm not going to go out here and say we're going to sweep them because we'll probably get blown out 15-0 tomorrow because that's how we are. I'm sure it's Corbin's bump day too. Nah, he pitched yesterday. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that you want us to do. Obviously, we need to win these games, and we're going to. So it's not as satisfying, I feel like, when we do it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's Coors Field. Our pitchers did good for it being Coors Field. Normally, the away pitchers kind of struggle there. I'll take it.
Speaking of struggle, Dean Kramer starts the next game Saturday, and he struggled mightily. I mean, he went against Ryan Feltner, and, we should win games when you're pitching against Ryan Feltner. But that being said, he gives up 4 earned through 3 and a piece of an inning because he luckily got hit for his sake because he wanted to be taken out of that game because they were hitting him. But anyway, in all seriousness, he gets hit in the wrist. We actually dodged a bullet, I think. Nothing's broken, just swollen up pretty good.
Yeah.
I was watching the game, and it swelled up quick. But yeah, we lose this game 7-5. Some notes here: Santander hits a home run. Jimenez hits his first Orioles home run. Crushed it too. It was like 460 some feet, something crazy. But yeah, the thing that got me here was just we couldn't really get a pitcher to save his pitch count and make it through more than an inning. So kind of just reading it off, Aiken gets the 2 outs to end the 3rd after Kramer gets hit. Then Butch Smith gets Burt Smith gets an inning. Soto gets an inning. They both did well, but Perez could only get an out before he walked 2 people. Cano comes in and kind of saves him there. And then Kimbrel obviously comes in, does what Kimbrel does, and gives up 2 earned. So anyway, yeah, so sort of frustrating day, losing 7-5, just because we came back, tied it up before Kimbrel came and got the loss. You know what I mean? So just super frustrating, because that's when you were like, okay, we're back. We're going to win this game. It's not a big deal. And then I think everybody, when Kimbrel came in, all Orioles fans probably just turned the TV off, because why even watch it?
I mean, it's getting to the point where I'll get to it in a bit with some of our recent transactions. There's people that we are letting walk away to other teams that physically cannot be worse than Craig Kimbrel.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know one of the guys you're saying. So yeah,
yes. He's one of the guys that I believe should have been on the team. And not even he was in the minors for too long anyway.
Yeah.
There's no reason that we have Craig Kimbrel on this team still with the talent that we have in the minor leagues. Call up Chase McDermott, put him in the bullpen. I guess, is he still hurt? I just remember that. He was hurt earlier. No, so
he's back.
I mean, I can't imagine that half of the Norfolk bullpen would be worse than him.
Right.
And it's to the point that if I'm going to consider our season a loss if he is put on our postseason roster, unless he has a major turnaround here at the end of the year, which, yet again, knowing Craig Kimbrel, is fully possible. He fully could have, starting today, he could not give up a run for the rest of the season.
I don't know.
I really doubt it, because I also know that what would happen is we do that. We'd be like, oh, Craig Kimbrel's back, first playoff appearance, gives up a home run or something like that.
Right.
If we were to do a trust ranking or the stars that we did at one point with our bullpen, he has 0. He is my least trusted player. I would have never thought that Nick Maton, who is currently on the Orioles roster, for those of you that don't know, I would rather him pitch than Craig Kimbrel.
Oh my gosh, what a play. Sorry. Just watching this live. Austin Slater. So Kimbrel was struggling, man on first and second, 2 outs in the 9th, and ball slicing to the right in right field off the White Sox bat. Slater makes a crazy diving catch to save 2 runs. He definitely saved 2 runs. What a catch. Boy, I love Slater.
He's been great.
Man,
sorry. I will say he's been probably the second best trade.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I mean, either Dominguez or him, because he's someone that we still haven't given up a player for. It was either cash or player. If the player's to be named later, I don't know how long that lasts. It could be a year and a half or something like that. But I mean, he's been batting leadoff for us. He's been a real key to our success lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know who else has been a key to our success?
Who?
Zach Eflin.
Zach Eflin on Sunday crushed it. All right. So Zach Eflin's
Don't
been
talk
hurt.
about him too much.
Yeah,
I got him later.
Okay, Zach Eflin's been hurt for a while. Well, not a while, 15 days exactly. So he comes in on his game back. Boy, did we need him. Crushed it. He goes 7 innings, strikes out 9, 1 earned, 4 hits. Does amazing. Bowman comes in, does great. And then Soto comes in and strikes out the 2 out of the 3. We win this game 6-1. Real exciting to just see him back. And also, you know what? Another thing I love right now is every time McCann hits a home run with a mask on. McCann hits another home run. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I'm pretty sure McCann has at least 3 home runs with a mask
Something
on.
like that.
Right? He only has 5 home runs on the whole season. He has 5 on the whole season. Leave the mask on, Brian McCann. I said Brian McCann.
You said Brian McCann.
Yeah.
That's the wrong McCann. No relation.
No relation at all. Yeah.
Wrong major league catcher.
But anyway, seriously, leave the mask on because you're crushing the ball.
Yeah.
Really. Anyway, I love seeing it. But anyways, back to it. So that was another game where Corey Slater, Austin Slater. I'm just
Corey
struggling.
Slater. What are you doing there?
I don't know. Austin Slater. He batted leadoff. That you're going to start seeing that, I think, more often as a lefty gets into the lineup, and he's doing well. He's producing. It seems like when he's in there, and he just gives what I like about him the most is he's a contact bat. He's not trying to hit with power, and we just need as many of those guys like that as we can in this lineup. When we're just trying to hit bombs every time.
Yeah, no, because that's the one common theme throughout this series, and even lately, like the 2 weeks is that our starter guys have not been doing great. Cowser's been struggling. Gunner's been struggling. O'Hearn's been struggling. Rushman's been really struggling.
Right.
But you have people like Austin Slater, Emmanuel Rivera. Ramon Arias was having a crazy stretch.
Yeah.
James McCann, the people that you need to step up in times, and they kind of have. And it's looking like now that some of our bigger names are going to start stepping back up too. So maybe if I'm really hoping that this White Sox series propels us too. The Rockies and White Sox really helps push us to the next level.
It definitely came at a right time because on Monday the White Sox come into town and we have Corbin Burns on the mound against Chris Flexen. Chris Flexen was 2-13, and obviously Corbin Burns, is Corbin Burns, who's had a pretty decent season up until the past 3 weeks. So Corbin Burns, very first inning, gives up 2 runs, and that's when you start really stressing out because you're like, holy crap. Corbin's, if you can't beat the worst team in the baseball history, it's going to be a struggle. Luckily, that's when Gunnar Henderson comes out and hits a leadoff home run, ties the record for most home runs by a shortstop in a season. He ties Miguel for an Oriole. He ties Miguel Tejada and Cal Ripken Jr. So pretty cool to see that. And then the Orioles decided to realize, holy crap, we're playing the White Sox. We better score runs. We end up winning this game 13-3, but we left just a crazy amount of people on base, especially through the first, 4.5 innings, 4 or 5 innings.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things. That 6-run 6th inning really helped us. Home runs by, like I said, Henderson, Mullins. So home runs really wasn't the reason why we scored so many. It's really that, just base hits, and getting people in. But we probably could have easily scored 20 runs. Like, watching this game, it just felt like every inning we just had people on.
It's a very bad sloppy 13.
Yeah.
Which is, it's insane to think that, but it is. Because, even first inning after Gunnar hit the home run, then you had runners second and third with no outs. We didn't score them.
Right.
It's just, there's times like that. But I will say I felt bad in this game. There's one player on the White Sox that I wish nothing but success for as a fellow Delawarean, Chad Kuhl. He gave up 3 runs. I don't even know if he got an out. But I saw that stat and I was like, oh, that's sad for him. But at least we did good, I guess.
Poor dude.
It's just you feel bad for all the White Sox pitchers at this point. There's so many players on the White Sox that I was like, I didn't even know you played baseball anymore. You remember Tuki Toussaint?
And hey, can you imagine being on the Braves and now you play?
This is
you feel bad for him. And just finishing it off real quick. So this is on Tuesday, which is tonight, but Tuesday night the Orioles played our second game with the White Sox. We win this game 9-0. Cade Povich pitched his best game in his career. So thank God. He goes to the 8th inning, gets 1 out in the 8th, and then gets pulled because of a base hit. But anyway, he goes 7 in a piece, gives up 5 hits, 10 strikeouts. That's a number we haven't seen from him. No earned runs, nothing. There was no walks in this entire game until what? Craig Kimbrell comes in the 9th inning, walks a guy. Actually, that's what we were just talking about. He gets out of that game, out of the inning in the 9th with a line out to Slater. The thing I want to talk about is the guy's last name is Nastriani for the White Sox. Their starting pitcher. He's 0-7 now. He throws, I think it was 78 pitches. I can look really quick. I want to say 78 pitches. Okay, I'm sorry, 72 pitches, and he got 5 outs. He throws 72 pitches, got 5 outs.
That's rough.
Gives up 7 runs, but 4 earned because the outfielder and Benintendi, their left fielder, and the shortstop decided to run into each other. But the big thing here is he got taken out with 2 outs in the second inning, guys. He walked 6. He threw 2 balls through the backstop of the netting, not in the backstop of the netting, through the backstop netting. So pretty crazy, pretty crazy when you throw it through the net of the backstop. So, but no home runs in this game. We win 9-0. Cade Povich pitched amazing. He'll be the guy that we talk about in this game.
Yeah. No, Povich definitely did great. I think he needed to start.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to be, yet again, when you try not to be too impressed with everything, because you do have, I think when you see the stats from this game, you have to take it with a grain of salt, just because they are the team to ever play Major League Baseball. Like, remember those really bad Orioles teams that were like, this has to be work. I know you can't imagine it worse than that, but it's substantially worse than that.
You gotta give it to like White Sox fans that show up to the stadium.
Oh, they don't. Didn't you see the other day the
No.
doubleheader? There was like a couple hundred people in attendance for the resumed doubleheader. Like
I'll be
it was crazy.
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I actually did not watch the White Sox game the other day.
I didn't either, but
I was
just
watching
saw it.
I had a board I was painting, and I just looked at it and watched it dry. So
I'm just a baseball
I'm kidding.
sicko. That's what it is. I'll watch any. That's like there. I saw tickets. White Sox are selling like good seats $1 a piece.
Wow.
If I lived in Chicago, I would go to every single game.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't care how bad the White Sox are because there's another team there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. So from the past week, what do you take from it? What do you take from the past week of Orioles baseball?
The one line I have here that I wrote down: so we could beat bad teams.
Yes.
I mean, if I think there's not much worse that we could have done against these teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't feel impressed with how we did. I'm okay with it because we definitely could have lost more. We definitely, especially that Rocky series. The Rockies are bad, but they're still okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees got beat by 12 runs by the White Sox, so we could still get beat by them. We definitely could. Yeah. I mean, we weren't, but we could.
Right.
But it's just, I don't know.
I agree.
We did. Our bats seem to have woken up.
Yep.
Obviously, putting up 9 runs tonight, 13 the other night, and then we didn't score. The least amount of runs we scored since the 30th is 5. It's climbed every single game.
Yeah.
So that's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
We haven't given up a substantial amount of runs. Other than that 7-run game, we've kind of given up just a little bit.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of injuries and different transactions happen though. That's been interesting.
Yeah, that's been a little weird. I mean, so especially, like I said, Dean Kramer getting hit really sucks. Ramon Urias, who literally just tripped over the base. That was a tough one to watch.
I mean, Mountcastle's hurt.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where just frustrating.
Yeah. Before I move on to the good moves, I'll talk about the one other bad move that I'm very about.
What do you got?
We DFA'd Dylan Tate, and
hate it.
He got claimed. He is on the Blue Jays now.
Yeah, he's going to pitch against us. He's
100%. Yeah. They'll probably move him to a starter just to pitch against us. I'll throw no hitter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's just I don't understand his talent. There had to have been someone else on the 40-man that we could have DFA'd. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like just looking at since the month of September, we have so many different moves. But like we have Kobe Mayo's been recalled.
Right.
Zach Eflin got recalled. Those are you'll see, and then Nick Naton's on the team too.
Yeah.
Those are you see some of the more as you get into September, you go from 26 to 28. So those Mayo and Eflin were the 2 moves where we didn't have to take anybody off. But then I mean you even see like Forrest Wall. Do you have any clue who that is?
Yeah, he's fast. I know that. Yeah.
I would think he's Walls don't normally move too fast.
Oh, boo.
Like we just DFA'd a whole bunch of random
Anyway,
people.
he seriously is fast. I just hope.
I'll believe you.
They brought him on just for base stealing.
Well, it's not like he's on the major league team.
No.
But I am interested in a couple signings we've done.
Okay, what you got?
I don't know if you've seen them. So we signed Brooks Kriske a little bit ago. That's an interesting one, I think.
Yeah, I think he's related to Brooks Robinson. They just shared the same first name.
But, and then these are the 2 moves I am more excited about. We signed Nick Anderson and Adrian Hauser.
Love the Adrian Hauser signing.
Those are 2 people that, because of the day we signed them, they are still eligible to make playoff roster.
Yep.
I think they beat it by like a day. So I think it's September 1st is when the cutoff.
It is September 1st.
Yeah. So luckily, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with them.
Yeah.
Love it. I like them. I like just trying to keep making moves because you never know what's going to happen. We've had terrible luck with injury. What's to say everyone else doesn't get hurt?
Yeah, especially that Adrian Hauser. I really like that move. He was a solid pitcher for the Brewers. Struggled last year. I forget what team he was on. But anyway, Mets. I think this year.
Or was that this year?
Yeah, I think that was this year. But anyway, so I like that. He has experience. He pitched in relief a little bit for the minors this year, So we'll see how he goes. Like I said, I agree with you. I'm excited to see the moves because they seem, most of them, all but one. I mean, Elias is really getting hit on one trade he made, and he deserves it. Does he deserve it? Absolutely. Norby And
Norby is going off right now for the Marlins.
Norby's crushing it. Stowers is crushing, and the pitcher we got for him is nothing. So he's in the minors. So
because he's been doing terrible in the minors too.
Yeah, terrible. But that being said, all the other moves have hit. Like Jimenez hit, Eflin crushed it, and then even the smaller ones, like I said, Slater's done amazing.
Slater's been doing great. Levon Soto, I mean, he's been kind of up and down on the team a little bit just to help with utility. You even have, like I have here, someone that you don't like and people think have been doing terrible is Gregory Soto. Who would you?
I don't mind him.
Okay, let's clip back a couple of weeks ago, and you were not saying the same thing. But over his past 7 1/3 inning, he's not giving up a single run.
Yeah, nice.
He's got an opponent batting average of .043,
right?
A 33.3 strikeout percentage. That's good stats.
Absolutely,
that's a good reliever right there. If you can keep that up, that's awesome. Sir Anthony's been good. Our team ERA has been 3.09 the past 7 days, which. Could you believe me? I told you this before we started, but on the year, the Orioles still have, I think it was the 6th lowest ERA.
Wow.
Out of all teams, which feels insane.
Yeah, and I mean, we gave up, Austin Hayes and got a closer, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Without Sir Anthony Dominguez, we would be in a rough spot, So it's one of those things where I'm actually pretty impressed with everything that our front office has been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
So because, like I said, it's the people that you don't like. The average baseball fan doesn't even know who they are.
Yeah.
So I'm just Emmanuel Rivera crushing it. So that's kind of where I'm at. The one thing I put for the things we learned from the past week is Burns still isn't all the way back. I don't know what's going on. I'm nervous when even Orioles coaching staff is, or not Orioles coach, but I was still another podcast, and they talk about a lot of like pitching metrics, pitching dynamics. It's good for like instructors and stuff, but they were talking about Corbin Burns, and even they don't really know what the heck's going on, which I almost wish it was something obvious, so I don't know if I don't know, it's almost like, is he tipping? Like, what's going on here?
It's just, I've even noticed like his cutters aren't cutting as much.
Yeah.
He's not using them as much because they're hanging more. I don't even know what it could be.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's kind of frustrating. I don't think he's all the way back. But I guess, but you say all that, but, we got Eflin back. I feel great.
That's true. I'll talk about Eflin right now because I made him my performance of the week.
Love it.
He did great. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts coming from a non-strikeout guy.
Yeah.
And it's his first came back off the IL, and he's just continued what he did before.
Yeah.
He's not slowed down one bit.
Yeah, they had an 85 pitch count on him too. And he was able to get
7 innings.
All the way through 7 innings with that.
Which he had a perfecto going.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
You see how that got broken up? That was annoying.
I don't remember how that got broken up.
There was a little dribbler down third base.
Oh, I did see that. Yes, I did.
His former teammate did it to him.
Yeah, gotta love it, man. Who is his former teammate?
Jake Cave. Phillies teammates.
Gotcha. My performance of the week or player of the weeks, I picked 2 because I can, because mine is Emmanuel Rivera. I could not be more impressed with him. He has just absolutely been crushing it over the past 7 days. It's one of those things where over the past 7, my computer's not working, but anyway, he's just the past few weeks been crushing it. Over the past 7 days, he has 5 RBIs. So like I said, he's batting a 308 in the past week. When I'm looking at the past 7 days and just kind of trying to find who I think has been the most impactful, it's definitely him. And then my other guy is more of a feels, so it's more eyeball test. It's not stats wise. It's Austin Slater. I'm a big fan of him for his position on our team, if that makes sense. So I don't need him to be an everyday player. Neither do I need that for Rivera. It's one of those things where I just need them to kind of like fill the role. Does that make sense? So, Slater comes in and my man's probably he's going to either fly out to left or hit a double down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not, that's one of my favorite parts. Whereas, there's some other people on the team. I'll be honest. Cowser, man, if you're just throw a change up in the dirt, he's going to swing over it and strike out. So they
100%.
kind of figured him out a little bit. But Austin Slater crushing it, very happy. Him on defense is amazing. Him and the leadoff spot against lefties is perfect. Emiliano Rivera comes in. One of my favorite moments is when why can't I think of people's names today? Our third baseman got hurt. Why can't I?
Ramon Arias.
Ramon Arias gets hurt, trips over the bag. So now there's a man on first and third. The very next play, the very next pitch, a shot, a one hopper to Rivera. He throws it the second, double play. So he comes off the bench doing nothing to that and immediately gets out of the inning. And that was sort of a big thing for me that I really want to point out that, he's just, those two guys have saved us some games. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%.
So big fan of that. What are you looking forward to this week in Orioles baseball?
We're only half game back to the Yankees, which technically right now we're even with them. And I'm checking their score right now as they're playing the Rangers. They are tied still. Oh, no, sorry. They're losing 1-0 in the bottom of the sixth. And if that game continues that way, that means that we'll be a half game up on them, which will be the first time in a while we'll be in sole possession of first place.
Yeah.
But we play the Rays at home coming up in this next series, which we've done very well against them this year. So I'm really excited to see if we can keep up that success. And then we have some good injury updates. Westberg's been doing good. He's done without a cast on now. Jacob Webb's going for a second rehab appearance. Kramer's throwing again, and his arms are less swollen. And Danny Coulombe's facing live hitters for the first time since his injury. It's really great because we finally are kind of getting. All of this is good news to make me think that we'll have them before the playoffs.
Yeah,
Grayson has no news, and that scares me.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things, in my opinion, where Grayson said he felt. I was watching an interview with him 2 days ago, and he was saying that he feels a lot better. It's nowhere near as bad as the first time.
Yeah,
but you're right. He's not throwing. I agree. So it's almost like though they're not really rushing any of the players because
I'd rather them do that.
They just trying to make sure they're fresh and ready for the playoffs. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's just amazing. I was telling somebody else, I don't know any other team that can be where we are now with the amount of injuries. So this is what ticks me off. So you tell somebody, that we have injuries or whatever, and everybody says, well, every team has injuries. I'm like, no, you don't even know. We have
our entire major league, like not our rotation, but we have enough people injured to field half a bullpen and a starting rotation that would be, I would say, major league average.
Absolutely.
And better than the White Sox.
Yeah, and then both of our third basemen got hurt. Our
first baseman.
Our first baseman. Our second baseman. Yeah.
We have an entire infield out.
And our center fielder just came back. Mullins just came back. So
and our catcher had to play through a broken nose.
Yeah, our back. Okay, yeah. So I mean, I've just never seen anything like it. I mean, I feel like I'm a New York Mets fan because I feel like this happens to them. Like usually whenever you think they're going to be good, this kind of stuff happens. But I mean, just like I said, it's just been a frustrating year on the injury front.
Definitely.
And it's one of those things where I think we just had such high hopes. We still do, but we had such high hopes for certain people. And then you just know that, the regular season wise, it's not going to be what you wanted by that certain person. Like I was hoping Grayson would have just a crazy great year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
just doing good, but
but
you miss a month and a half.
And then you see Westberg, who's absolutely crushing it, doing way better than we all could have expected. He gets hurt. And then Urias, who we wanted to all have released at, by the All-Star break. Thank God they didn't. And then Mateo, who we thought should be released before the year started or traded before the year started. Thank God they didn't because he was doing good. Yeah. And it's just one of those things. And Kershaw's hurt. We forgot to talk about that. So anyway, we got a lot going on, guys. We got a lot going on. Hopefully next time we come on here, we're going to talk about how the Orioles are in first place now, right? So we got a series coming up with the Rays. That's going to be, I know we do well against them, but it's always a tough series against them. Their pitchings are usually pretty good. They got a rookie right now who they just brought up who's a stud. So sort of like a Holiday-ish. And then next week, starting on Monday, September 9th, we will face the Boston Red Sox. Is that at Boston or is that, do you know? Because
it is.
I believe it's at Boston. So that'll be I think they'll play a day game. They still play a day game on
No,
that's the
it's
marathon. Yeah.
3 night games.
Yeah, 3 night games. Okay. So, but anyway, so we'll see. I think, whenever you're playing the division, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can pull it out, man. You know what I mean? So get a win. Say take 2 out of 3. Take 2 out of 3 from them. So
if we could walk away from those 2 series with 4-6, 4-2 record, I'd be fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 4-2. I would be okay with that, because then after that we have 2 series against the Tigers coming up, the Giants.
Yeah.
Those are, I think, if we could take 2 out of 3 out of every series for the rest of the year, we would be in a very, very great spot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to ask you before we jump off here.
Yes.
All right. So you've been watching games. So I just see a ton of information about this on the good old X. How do you feel Hyde's doing this year? Give me your honest take.
I feel like he's not doing as bad as people are making it seem, because I think there's definitely some problems. I think it's a lot of the other coaches' faults, I will say. And I don't think that's even the coaches' faults. I think it's from the top down, because when we get into these hitting slumps, it's because they're trying to hit home runs now. That's not Hyde's fault. Hyde's not the one telling them that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
That's supposed to be either the hitting coach. It's slightly him, but really it's coming from the top down. I think that's coming from player development and Mike Elias and all the people up at the very top, because that's not something they just decide to do on a whim.
Right. I agree. So here, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just, he definitely makes a lot of questionable stuff, but I think overall it's more positive than negative.
Right. So here's my thing. Okay, real quick, because I agree. You good response. So here's my inputs. So I see people getting mad at Hyde for moves he makes. All right. So especially bullpen wise.
Yeah.
Who the heck do you want to put in this bullpen other than what we have? Right. So don't get mad at Hyde because we have no bullpen pitchers. You can get mad at 2 things. You can get mad at injuries and in your front office for the bullpen pitchers that we have currently. Yeah. He has to put in what's there. He can't just pull a rabbit out of his hat. So secondly, when you have Gunnar getting up, striking out, whatever, Cowser, Rutschman, I don't know, any of those young guys, right? So Holiday especially. So you have them come up big moments, they don't really come through, correct? You know why they probably didn't come through? They're freaking they're either not a year in or a year in to major leagues. Rutschman's obviously 2.5, but so that's where you're seeing these young guys struggle here and there. But you know why? Because they're young guys. I was telling somebody else, the biggest difference between the Orioles and other teams is other teams have one young guy. So you don't really notice when he struggles because they have a whole team of them. Whereas the Orioles, we literally have, 6, right? 6 or 7 at a time of guys with less than 3 years MLB experience. So obviously they're going to struggle, So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't even really get on the batting coaches so much, only because and I agree with you. There's some terrible approaches sometimes, but I think most of the time it's just they're young. They're going to get better. Yeah, hopefully you're going to see them get better and improve each time they're out there, each year they're out there. If you looked at Manny Machado, he wasn't a stud every single year, but he was at the end, right? By the last two,
by year 5, by 6, stuff like that.
Yeah. Imagine what Gunnar, Rutsch, Holiday, and Westberg and Cowser, and imagine what that's going to look like. So just remember that, guys. Don't freak out like I do sometimes. I get it. I freak out too, but I have to remember this isn't our only chance. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're going to improve every year, and just keep getting better. But young guys are going to make stupid mistakes, and that's the price you pay when you kind of live and die by this way. You know what I mean? So other than that's kind of my rant real quick before we jump off. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us on another episode here on the Utah Street Banter. Please make sure you follow us, like us, whatever, subscribe. We're on YouTube, obviously Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. So definitely reach out to us if you have any questions or you want us to talk about anything. And we'd love to hear from you. Definitely.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll
Absolutely.
see you guys next week. Hopefully the Orioles are in first place. We'll see you guys then.
Yep. See ya.